The Book of Enoch, an ancient Hebrew apocalyptic text, offers profound insights into early Jewish thought and eschatology. Attributed to Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah, this text has intrigued scholars and believers alike with its vivid depictions of divine judgment, celestial beings, and the fate of humanity. In this comprehensive analysis, we delve into the first 5 chapters, exploring their themes, implications, and the timeless lessons they impart. Introduction to the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch, also known as 1 Enoch, is a collection of writings that did not find a place in the canonical scriptures of most Jewish and Christian traditions. Despite its exclusion, the text has significantly influenced religious thought, particularly in areas concerning angelology and eschatology. Fragments of the Dead Sea Scrolls indicate that the Book of Enoch was known and valued among certain Jewish communities and early Christians. Its narratives provide additional context to the stories found in Genesis, especially regarding the Great Flood and the anticipation of Messiah. Chapter 1, The Coming Judgment. The opening chapter serves as a prologue, setting the stage for the themes of judgment and redemption that permeate the text. Enoch, described as a righteous man whose eyes were opened by God, receives visions meant not for his generation, but for a distant one. This introduction emphasizes the timeless nature of the message, suggesting its relevance for future audiences. Enoch envisions a time when God would descend upon Mount Sinai, accompanied by myriads of holy ones, to execute judgment upon all. This theophany is depicted with awe-inspiring imagery. Divine presence. God's manifestation is portrayed as undeniable and all-encompassing, instilling fear in all inhabitants of the earth, including the rebellious angels known as the Watchers. Reading Acts. Cosmic upheaval. The natural order is disrupted, mountains shake, high places are made low, and the earth is rent asunder. Such cataclysmic events symbolize a profound transformation accompanying divine judgment. Judgment of the wicked. The ungodly face destruction, while the righteous are promised peace and protection. This dichotomy underscores the text's moral framework, where actions have eternal consequences. Chapters 2 to 5. Observations of the natural world and moral exhortations. In these subsequent chapters, Enoch draws attention to the natural world's order and consistency as a testament to divine wisdom and authority. He urges readers to observe the cycles of nature, the changing seasons, the growth and dormancy of trees, and the movements of celestial bodies. These observations serve as metaphors for moral and spiritual truths. Constancy of creation. The unchanging patterns in nature reflect God's unalterable laws. Just as the natural world adheres to divine ordinances, so too should humanity align with moral imperatives. Human inconsistency. In contrast to nature's steadfastness, humans often deviate from righteousness, leading to disorder and judgment. Call to righteousness. Enoch admonishes the wicked for their impure words and hard-heartedness, warning of curses and destruction. Conversely, the righteous are assured of forgiveness, mercy, and eternal joy. Personal reflections and contemporary relevance. The themes articulated in these chapters resonate deeply with contemporary audiences. The emphasis on observing the natural world as a reflection of divine order invites readers to find spiritual insights in everyday experiences. The stark contrast between the fates of the righteous and the wicked serves as a poignant reminder of the moral choices that define human existence. In an era marked by moral relativism and environmental crises, Enoch's exhortations encourage a return to foundational principles, recognizing a higher moral authority and understanding humanity's role within the broader creation. The text challenges readers to reflect on their actions, the state of their hearts, and their alignment with enduring ethical standards. The first 5 chapters of the Book of Enoch lay a profound foundation for the themes explored throughout the text. They present a vision of impending judgment, tempered with promises of mercy for the righteous. Through observations of the natural world, Enoch illustrates the harmony and order intended by the Creator, juxtaposed against human disobedience and its consequences. As we continue to explore the subsequent chapters, we will delve deeper into the narratives of the Watchers, the Nephilim, and the intricate visions that have captivated readers for centuries. These ancient writings, while outside traditional canon, offer valuable insights into early theological thought and continue to inspire reflection on justice, morality, and the human condition. In the next installment, we will examine the fall of the Watchers, their transgressions, and the profound impact on humanity, as depicted in chapters 6 to 10 of the Book of Enoch. They descended from the heavens not to bring light, but to extinguish it. They came not to bless mankind, but to break it. What happens when angels, divine beings created to serve the will of God, defy their purpose, abandon their posts, and descend into the mortal realm with desires darker than any human heart could imagine? This is the story of the Watchers, and a fall that would echo through all of history, a cosmic rebellion, a hybrid race of giants, and the judgment of a God who does not forget. Chapter 6, The Watchers Conspire. High above the mortal world, a divine order was established. The heavens were ruled by laws no being dared question, but within a certain order of angels known as the Watchers, assigned to observe and protect humanity, a seed of rebellion began to grow. On Mount Hermon, a solemn pact was made. 200 angels, led by Semjaza, their mighty chief, made a fateful decision. They would descend to earth and take human wives to themselves. Let us choose us wives from among the children of men, and beget us children. But they knew the magnitude of their sin. This was no light matter. Should they fall, there would be no redemption. Still, the desire burned brighter than reason, and so they bound themselves together by a terrible oath, swearing that none would abandon the plan, lest the others be left to bear divine punishment alone. They came down, radiant, powerful, otherworldly. The humans, in awe, called them gods. But these weren't saviors. They were transgressors. Chapter 7, The Birth of Giants. The Watchers began to cohabit with mortal women, and the result was something the world had never seen. The Nephilim, towering beings, unnatural in every way, giants who grew to consume all that the earth could offer. When the food was gone, they turned on animals, then on humans, and finally on each other. They devoured flesh and drank blood. Civilization crumbled under their violence, and earth itself began to cry out under the weight of their sin. But the corruption didn't stop there. The fallen angels, in their arrogance, began teaching humans forbidden knowledge. Azazel taught the art of weapons, swords, knives, shields, armor. Semjaza revealed enchantments and root cuttings. Others unveiled the secrets of astrology, the movement of the stars, signs of the moon, and the power of herbs and cosmetics. What had once been holy knowledge was now twisted into tools of vanity, war, and witchcraft. The earth became a realm of sorcery, seduction, and slaughter. The harmony between man and nature was shattered, and the spiritual balance of creation was undone. Chapter 8, Divine Anguish. Above it all, the heavens wept. The archangels, Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, and Uriel, looked down upon the earth, witnessing the spread of wickedness and bloodshed. It was not just the corruption of man, but the blasphemy of angels, creatures who had once stood in the presence of the Almighty. They brought their grievances before the Lord. See what Azazel has done, who has taught all unrighteousness on earth and revealed eternal secrets. And God, though slow to anger, now prepared to unleash judgment. But it would not be a simple punishment. This was to be a cleansing, one that would echo for eternity. Chapter 9, The Decree of Judgment. God, in his righteousness, gave his command. Azazel, the corrupter, was to be bound and cast into a deep pit in the desert, a place of burning and torment until final judgment. Semjaza, leader of the Watchers, and his followers were also to be bound and forced to witness the slaughter of their children, the Nephilim, by the hands of one another. The giants, those grotesque hybrids born of heaven and earth, would destroy themselves in endless war. And when it was done, the Watchers would be sealed away for 70 generations until the day of judgment. Destroy all wrong from the face of the earth. Let every evil work be destroyed. But even in wrath, there was justice. Even in punishment, a promise remained. The earth, once defiled, would be cleansed, and righteousness would rise like the dawn after storm. Chapter 10, The Coming Flood. Perhaps the most haunting revelation of this chapter is the announcement of a great flood, a divine act of purification designed to wipe away the evil birthed by the union of angels and humans. A great destruction shall come upon all the earth. Only one man, Noah, found favor in the eyes of God, though not named directly in this section. Enoch is shown to have foreseen Noah's birth and the salvation of a remnant of humanity. His righteousness, his purity, stood in sharp contrast to the decadence of his generation. And so the plan was set in motion. Azazel would be buried beneath sharp stones in Dudiel. The Watchers would witness the death of their offspring. Humanity would be washed clean by the floodwaters of judgment. The world as it was known would end. But a new age, forged in the fires of justice, would begin. Personal reflections. The story of the Watchers is one of the most haunting and powerful in all ancient literature. It's not just a tale of rebellion. It's a cautionary epic about the abuse of power, the dangers of knowledge untethered from wisdom, and the heavy price of breaking divine order. There's something deeply unsettling about the Watchers. They weren't demons. They were once holy. They chose to fall. And that, perhaps, is the most terrifying part. It speaks to the potential in all beings, angelic or human, to fall from grace, not through ignorance, but through willful defiance. In a way, Enoch is warning us. The path to ruin begins not with darkness, but with desire, with pride, with knowledge wielded without humility. Timeless themes in today's world. The fall of the Watchers isn't just ancient myth. It mirrors modern dilemmas. Technological power without ethical restraint, manipulation of nature beyond its limits, corruption of leadership, where those meant to protect instead exploit. Sound familiar? Enoch's vision calls us to reflect. Are we repeating the sins of the Watchers in new forms? Are we, 2, trading wisdom for domination? What if a mortal was taken by angels and shown the machinery of heaven? What if one man could see the prison of angels, the realm of souls, and the secrets of time itself? The earth had been defiled. The Watchers had fallen. Judgment was in motion. But amid the chaos, one man was chosen not to fight, not to flee but to witness, to see what no human had ever seen before. The inner workings of the cosmos, the fates of spirits, and the divine architecture that governs all life. This man was Enoch, and this is his journey. Chapter 11, the promise of renewal. After the Nephilim were destroyed and the Watchers imprisoned, the earth stood silent, broken, barren. But the Most High did not abandon his creation. A new promise was declared. The earth shall be cleansed, the trees shall flourish again, and righteousness shall dwell among men. This wasn't just a reset, it was a spiritual renewal. The earth had tasted blood, but it would drink life again. It was a symbol that even after corruption, the world can be restored. And yet, a question lingered. What becomes of the souls of the dead, of the Watchers, still bound in darkness? And what secrets lay beyond the stars? To answer that, Enoch was summoned. Chapter 12, the summons of the scribe. Enoch, already known for his righteousness and wisdom, was visited by divine messengers. Enoch, scribe of righteousness, go declare to the Watchers. Imagine this, a mortal man standing as mediator between God and the angels themselves. His mission? To deliver a terrible truth. You will have no peace. Enoch journeyed to the place of their imprisonment, dark caverns, sealed by jagged rocks, far from the eyes of heaven or man. There he found the watchers, broken, weeping, and they pleaded, "Petition for us. Speak to the Most High, that he may forgive us." But Enoch, heart heavy, knew already their fate was sealed. Still he prayed, he recorded their names, and he was taken up not just in body, but in spirit to the realms above. Chapter 13 to 14, Enoch sees the heavens. What Enoch witnessed cannot be described in mortal terms. He was lifted in a storm of fire, wrapped in clouds, with winds like roaring seas and stars swirling like fireflies in the dark. He passed through crystal walls, flaming gates, a palace of light so brilliant it blinded, and at its center, the great glory sat upon a high throne. This was not simply God in the abstract. This was the Ancient of Days, surrounded by choirs of holy beings, thrones upon thrones, and living fire that spoke without sound. Enoch fell on his face, and yet a voice like thunder told him, "Stand, Enoch, and hear my word." There, the judgment of the watchers was spoken again. No appeal, no mercy. They had defiled creation, and creation itself would bear their mark no longer. Chapter 15, the spirits of the giants. One of the most chilling revelations in the Book of Enoch is found here. God reveals that though the Nephilim were destroyed in body, their spirits remained. These disembodied spirits born of heaven and earth were unnatural, cursed to wander the world. Evil spirits shall proceed from their bodies. They shall afflict, oppress, destroy. Yes, these were the origin of demons, not fallen angels, but the ghostly remnants of the Nephilim, creatures with no place in heaven, nor claim on the earth. They would whisper madness, stir violence, haunt deserts, possess flesh, and they would remain until the final judgment. Chapter 16, Forbidden Knowledge. Then came a divine reminder. You, the watchers, were in heaven, but not born of the earth, yet you lusted after flesh. The watchers had crossed a cosmic boundary, not just physically, but spiritually. They introduced mankind to war, sorcery, astrology, seduction, idolatry, and in doing so, they accelerated the fall of humanity. It was not just about giants and monsters. It was about how power, once sacred, became twisted. How knowledge, without humility, becomes a curse. Chapter 17 to 19, the Cosmic Tour. Now Enoch is taken even deeper. Guided by angels, he journeys to the foundations of creation. He sees the ends of the earth, the storehouses of winds and snow, the dwelling places of the stars, the prison of the angels. A chasm of fire where the fallen are held. It reads like science fiction, but in reality, it's mythic cosmology. These chapters serve a deeper purpose. They show that everything has a place, a cycle, a limit, even angels. Chapter 22, The Realm of the Dead. Perhaps the most profound chapter of this journey is Enoch's vision of Sheol, the realm where the souls of the dead await judgment. But Enoch doesn't see just one place. He sees 4 chambers, each separated by divine walls. The chamber of the righteous, peace and rest await them. The chamber of the sinners, those who await their punishment. The chamber of the slain, crying out for justice. The chamber of the unworthy, awaiting damnation. Here we realize judgment is not instant. There is waiting, a divine process, a cosmic trial. The souls cry out, especially those murdered unjustly, and their voices rise to heaven, just as Abel's blood cried out from the ground. Reflection, a map of the invisible. What Enoch gives us isn't just myth. It's a spiritual geography. He's mapping the unseen world, giving shape to what lies beyond death, behind the stars, beneath the earth. This isn't just theology. It's cosmic storytelling. and at its heart is a singular message. Nothing escapes the eye of the Most High. Not angels, not giants, not you, not me. Personal insights. Reading these chapters, I feel something ancient stir a primal fear and awe. Enoch doesn't try to comfort us. He doesn't say, everything will be okay. Instead, he says, here's the truth. And the truth is vast, terrifying, and divine. It's a reminder that we are part of a much bigger story, that our actions, seen or unseen, echo in eternity, that we are not alone. We are never unnoticed. What if every sunrise, every eclipse, every shadow cast by the moon was not random, but written in the book of heaven? As Enoch journeyed beyond the mountains of the world and into the chambers of the stars, he began to see time not as a line, but a circle intricately woven, mathematically perfect, governed not by chance, but by divine law. This wasn't just astronomy. It was celestial law, written before the foundation of the earth. Chapter 23, The Flame of the West. Enoch is taken to a mountain of fire eternally burning. It is not a volcano. It is something far older. This place is where the angels prepare the instruments of judgment. Where these flames? Some believe it to be a divine forge, where the fires of justice are kindled. Others suggest it symbolizes purification, the very heart of time itself. It is here that Enoch first feels the heat, not of punishment, but of cosmic truth. And so, the angels take him deeper. Chapter 24 to 25, The Garden of Righteousness. Suddenly, the fires give way to a lush paradise hidden atop a holy mountain. There Enoch sees a tree of unspeakable beauty, fragrant spices, crystals shining like stars, a light that comes not from the sun, but from within the leaves themselves. And at the center stands a tree of life. Yes, the tree, the one from Eden. But this is no ordinary tree. Its fragrance is alive. Its fruit glows. Its presence humbles even the angels. The angel Uriel tells Enoch, this tree shall not be touched until the day of judgment, when the righteous shall be granted its fruit. The tree is not lost. It's hidden waiting, and its fruit is the key to immortality. This garden is a reminder of what humanity once had, and what we may have again. Chapter 26 to 27, The Cursed Valley. From beauty to horror, Enoch is next led to a valley of shadows where angels have been cast down. The air is heavy, the ground scorched, the rocks scream. This is not hell, but something close, a holding ground, a waiting place of fallen light. Here shall be the place of the final judgment. Even now, in their silence, the earth remembers a rebellion of the Watchers. This is cosmic karma carved into stone. Chapter 28 to 33, The Ends of the Earth. Now begins one of the most mind-expanding journeys in all of Enoch's visions. He is taken to the edges of the earth, but these are not physical places. They are spiritual coordinates. Enoch sees the chambers where winds are born, the gateways for the sun and moon, the pillars that hold up the firmament, and the storehouses of snow, hail, and lightning. Everything is kept in its order. Everything moves according to command. It is not chaos that runs a world. It is obedience. Even the winds answer to a name. Even lightning waits for permission. Chapter 34 to 35, The Paths of the Moon. Now comes a turning point. Enoch is shown the movements of the moon. The angel Uriel, who governs the cosmos, explains. The moon has a name, and it keeps its phases according to law. Enoch records how the moon waxes and wanes in 28 parts. Each phase occurs with mathematical precision. The calendar is designed with 354 days a lunar year. But more than science, this was a mystic rhythm. The moon became a symbol of change, of cycles, of hidden power. Where the sun rules the day, The moon whispers to those who walk in dreams and secrets. Chapter 36. The Solar Law. Now, Oriel lifts Enoch to the gates of the sun. Yes, there are actual gates in this vision. The sun enters and exits them at appointed times, 6 in the east, 6 in the west. The sun's movement is not random. From a fourth gate rises the spring sun. From the sixth, the winter. This is divine astronomy, a heavenly calendar, written not in books, but in light. Every season, every harvest, every equinox. It is all written into the sun's journey. And the consequences of violating this law: if men forget the paths of time, chaos shall reign. Reflection. Time is sacred. What Enoch teaches is staggering. Time is not human invention. It is a living rhythm ordained by the Most High. The sun doesn't just shine. It obeys. The moon doesn't just glow. It remembers. The stars don't just twinkle. They witness. This is a universe where obedience creates order and rebellion creates ruin. And mankind, we're caught between. Personal insight. Reading these visions, I feel a sacred weight. In our modern world, we see time as a tool, a way to organize our day. But here, time is divine law, a song, a commandment. We forget the moon, the stars, the equinox. But Enoch reminds us to forget the calendar of heaven is to fall out of harmony with the cosmos. The ancients feared this. Maybe we should, too. If the stars record your fate and the heavens know your name, then what happens when the universe itself is called to judgment? In this final vision, Enoch does not just see angels or elements. He sees the throne of God. He sees the chosen one. And he learns that all of existence is heading toward one single moment: judgment, not just of mankind, but of angels, nations, kings, planets, even time itself. Chapter 37 to 38. The second vision. The parables begin. Enoch receives a second set of revelations. 3 parables that will unveil the destiny of the world. These are not just stories. They are divine blueprints of how justice will descend from heaven. The first parable opens with a warning. Woe to the kings and mighty, for you shall fall in the day of wrath. This is not the judgment of mortals. This is a cosmic reckoning. For those who corrupted the earth, be they angel or man, but hope still burns. A mysterious figure emerges, the chosen one. He is not named yet, but he is radiant, exalted, and sits beside the Ancient of Days. Chapter 39 to 40. The face of the holy ones. Suddenly, Enoch is taken into the heavens again. He sees angelic beings with fiery eyes, thrones surrounded by singing stars, the souls of the righteous shining brighter than the sun. And then he hears the voice of an archangel. This is the elect one, who shall bring down kings, raise the lowly, and reveal hidden things. This elect one is not a prophet. He is above angels. He is not born of rebellion, but divine will. He is the mirror of God's justice. Chapter 41 to 44. Secrets of the universe. Enoch's mind is flooded with visions, scientific and spiritual. Why the oceans don't overflow. How the stars know their place. Where the winds go when they rest, and how every creature's breath is counted. The universe is not chaotic. It is symphonic. Everything has a rhythm. Everything answers to something higher. Even the stars must give account. Chapter 45 to 47. The Son of Man revealed. Now comes the great revelation. The chosen one is given a new title, the Son of Man. Yes, the same term later used in Christian texts. He is described as a being of perfect righteousness, existing before creation, holding judgment in his hands, and having the power to resurrect the dead. He shall sit upon the throne of glory, and none shall stand before him. This is the center of Enoch's apocalypse. The Son of Man will judge kings and tyrants, defend the weak, purify the earth, and lead the righteous into eternal light. Chapter 48 to 52, the fate of the wicked. Now the visions turn dark. The wicked, those who deny the name of the Most High, are brought to shame. Enoch sees thrones of iron melted like wax, giants crying out in vain, fallen angels trembling before the Son of Man. Even the watchers who once ruled the heavens are now prisoners of light. Their wealth shall vanish, their names forgotten, their spirits condemned. This is a reverse Genesis. Those who try to become gods now fade into dust, and yet justice is not cruel. It is precise, measured, absolute. Chapter 53 to 56, war in heaven and earth. Suddenly, Enoch sees a final war, a cosmic battle between forces of light and darkness. Chains are forged for rebellious angels. Armies gather at the four corners of the earth. Volcanoes erupt not with magma, but with angelic wrath. The kings of the earth shall unite against the Holy One, but they shall fall like broken clay. And who leads the charge? The elect one, the Son of Man, no longer veiled. He rides on clouds. He speaks and the sky splits. He points and empires fall. This is the end of kingdoms and the birth of the everlasting realm. Chapter 57 to 60, visions of Leviathan and Behemoth. Enoch now sees Leviathan and Behemoth, primordial beasts created before the flood. They are not metaphors. Leviathan, a serpent of the deep. Behemoth, a beast of the dry earth. They wait for the day of the Lord, not to destroy, but to be offered in sacrifice. What does this mean? Many scholars say these creatures represent chaos, tamed by the Creator. Even the most ancient forces must bow to judgment. Chapter 61 to 67, the flood foretold. Now, Enoch is shown a deluge of punishment for what the watchers and men have done. He sees the ark. He sees Noah. He sees the fountains of the deep break open. The flood shall cleanse the earth, but the watchers shall remain in chains. This explains why Enoch vanishes from Genesis. He is taken, not just to escape death, but to record the future. God is not just a race. He resets, and Enoch is a witness. Chapter 68 to 71, Enoch ascends. As his visions end, Enoch is told, "You shall return to earth, but your place shall be among the righteous forever." Then something divine happens. Enoch is transformed, no longer just a man, no longer even a prophet. He becomes Metatron, a prince among angels, the scribe of the heavens. He is the one who writes what even the angels fear to speak. And before the throne of God, he is never silent. Personal reflection, a legacy of fire and light. What Enoch saw was not just ancient prophecy, it was a map of eternity. He saw the rise of darkness, the fall of angels, the power of time, the order of the stars, and the final triumph of the righteous. He saw the Son of Man before time began. He heard the judgment of kings. He watched creation sing and rebellion crumble, and he left us a choice. Do we live in rhythm with heaven, or do we fall like the watchers? If this journey through the Book of Enoch opened your eyes, then let your voice join the chorus. Like this video to show you stand with truth. Comment your favorite vision or passage below what struck you most. Subscribe for more lost texts, divine mysteries, and forbidden books brought to light. There are more books hidden in the shadows waiting to be told. The secrets of heaven are never truly gone. They're just waiting for someone to listen. Blessed are those who read and understand, for their names are written among the stars.